The New York Yankees and the Los Angeles Dodgers have always shared one of the most intense rivalries in all of baseball. But nobody, not the players, not the coaches, not the thousands of fans packed inside the stadium, was prepared for what happened next. What started as a regular season matchup between two powerhouse teams turned into one of the most shocking and talked about moments in recent baseball history. The entire stadium fell silent. Then, in an instant, everything exploded. Shohei Ohtani, the biggest name in baseball today, was suddenly at the center of a violent and disturbing incident. And the man at the heart of it all was none other than Yankees outfielder Cody Bellinger. Within minutes, the video was everywhere. Social media exploded. Fans from both sides were furious. Players from both dugouts came rushing onto the field. This was no longer just a baseball game. This was war. What exactly happened between Bellinger and Ohtani? What caused this brutal moment? Who threw the first move? And what are both teams saying right now? Stay with us, because every detail of this story is about to unfold. When the starting lineups were announced before the game, the atmosphere inside the stadium was already electric. Thousands of Dodgers fans had traveled to show their support for Shohei Ohtani, who was having yet another extraordinary season. On the other side, Yankees fans were loud, passionate, and ready for battle. The energy between these two fanbases was intense from the very first pitch. For the first few innings, the game was competitive and clean. Both pitchers were dealing. The score was tight. Players on both sides were focused and professional. Nobody could have predicted that within just a few hours, the entire mood of the game would completely change. Reporters in the press box later said that even before the incident, there was a noticeable tension building between the two teams. Several small moments during the early innings had already created some friction. A few hard slides. A couple of close pitches. The kind of small things that slowly build up into something much bigger. But no one expected it to go this far. The moment that changed everything happened in the middle of the game. Shohei Ohtani was moving along the baseline, fully focused on the play, when suddenly Cody Bellinger made a move that left everyone in the stadium completely stunned. What happened next was so sudden and so violent that many fans in the stands could not immediately understand what they were seeing. Eyewitnesses at the scene described it as one of the most shocking things they had ever witnessed on a baseball field. Several fans near the field level said that they heard the impact before they even fully saw it. The sound alone was enough to make people jump from their seats. Within seconds, players from both dugouts were already moving toward the field. A fan who was seated near the third base line said that everything happened so fast. One moment the game was going on normally, and the next moment there was complete chaos on the field. People around her were screaming. Some fans were shocked. Others were angry. The entire mood of the stadium changed in an instant. What happened next was something that coaches, managers, and players from both sides had never wanted to see. The moment Bellinger made contact with Ohtani, the Dodgers players reacted immediately. Freddie Freeman was one of the first to come rushing out of the dugout. Mookie Betts was right behind him. Within seconds, players from both teams were on the field, and the situation was rapidly spinning out of control. The Yankees players also came out in full force to back up their teammate. Pushing and shoving broke out near the baseline. Several coaches and team staff ran onto the field trying to separate the players. Umpires rushed in from all directions, doing everything they could to restore order. But for several tense and dramatic minutes, the brawl continued and the stadium was in complete uproar. Fans in the stands were standing on their feet. Some were chanting loudly. Others were shouting toward the field. The noise inside the stadium was deafening. Security personnel rushed to the field-level areas to make sure that no fans came onto the playing surface. For a brief moment, it felt like the entire stadium could erupt at any second. Reporters on the scene said that in all their years of covering baseball, they had rarely seen a brawl of this scale break out so suddenly and so intensely. This was not a minor scuffle. This was a full-scale confrontation that involved players from every corner of both rosters. After several long and tense minutes, umpires and coaching staff were finally able to separate the two groups of players. The field slowly began to clear. But the damage had already been done. The atmosphere inside the stadium was completely changed. What had started as an exciting rivalry game had turned into something far more serious. Shohei Ohtani was immediately attended to by the Dodgers medical staff on the field. Reporters watching closely said that Ohtani appeared to be shaken by what had happened. The medical team checked him carefully and spent several minutes assessing his condition right there on the field. Every Dodgers fan inside the stadium held their breath during those agonizing minutes. Dodgers manager Dave Roberts rushed to Ohtani's side immediately after the incident. Sources close to the team said that Roberts appeared visibly concerned and was asking the medical staff questions in rapid succession. The Dodgers manager, who always remains calm under pressure, looked genuinely worried about the condition of his biggest star. The question on everyone's mind at that moment was simple. How badly was Ohtani hurt? Would he be able to continue playing? And most importantly, would this incident have long-term consequences for one of the greatest players in the history of the sport? After the game, manager Dave Roberts stepped in front of the cameras and directly addressed what had happened on the field. His tone was serious. His words were measured. But it was clear that he was deeply unhappy with what had taken place. Roberts said that what happened today was completely unacceptable. He said that Shohei Ohtani is the heart of this team and that nobody has the right to put his health and safety at risk in that way. He confirmed that the medical staff had examined Ohtani immediately after the incident and that the team was continuing to monitor his condition very closely. When asked specifically about Cody Bellinger and his actions, Roberts paused before responding. He said that he had seen the play from the dugout and that he had also reviewed the footage afterward. He said that in his opinion, what happened was not a baseball play. It was something else entirely, and it was something that needed to be reviewed and addressed seriously by Major League Baseball. Roberts also confirmed that the Dodgers organization had already been in contact with league officials and that a formal complaint had been filed. He said the team expected a full and thorough investigation into the incident and that they would be pushing for the appropriate consequences to follow. Freddie Freeman spoke to reporters after the game and was visibly emotional as he described what he had seen and felt in those chaotic moments on the field. Freeman said that his first reaction when he saw what happened to Ohtani was pure shock. He said that nobody on the team saw it coming and that the whole thing happened so fast that it took a moment for everyone to even realize what had occurred. Freeman said that when he ran out onto the field, his only thought was to make sure Ohtani was okay. He said that Shohei means everything to this team and that seeing him in that situation was something nobody on the Dodgers roster wanted to experience. Freeman added that the entire clubhouse was still processing what had happened and that emotions were running very high after the game. Mookie Betts also addressed the media and did not hold back. Betts said that the team fully supported Ohtani and that they would stand by him through every step of whatever came next. He said that moments like this remind everyone in the clubhouse exactly why they fight so hard for each other every single day. As both teams returned to their respective clubhouses after the game, the conversation in the baseball world had already completely shifted. This was no longer about the final score. This was about what happened on that field, what it meant, and what consequences would follow. Major League Baseball has already confirmed that it is reviewing the incident and that a decision regarding potential suspensions and fines is expected in the coming days. The entire baseball community is now waiting to see how the league will respond to one of the most disturbing incidents seen on a baseball diamond in recent memory. For the Dodgers, the focus right now is entirely on Shohei Ohtani. The team is monitoring his condition. The medical staff is with him. And his teammates are rallying around him with full and unconditional support. As for Cody Bellinger and the Yankees, the silence from their side has been loud. No official statement has been released. No apology has been made public. And the longer that silence continues, the louder the questions are going to get. One thing is absolutely certain. Baseball will be talking about this moment for a very long time. Thank you for watching. Please share your thoughts in the comments section below. Subscribe to our channel for more interesting and up-to-date information.